What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Career Mode. Today's episode begins with a massive game against Werder Bremen, who I'm also told are a fierce rival of Hamburg's in the Bundesliga. Of course, they were top of the table as I left you all in the last one. They are currently now also in second place, having not lost. The only other team in the division to do that, Bayer Leverkusen, and they found themselves top of the table. So we're going to jump into this game right now against Werder Bremen. Live commentary for you all to enjoy. Of course, the side, that's what it looks like. We have, I would say, one of our strongest starting 11s available, maybe barring a couple of players, but I'm all ready to go for the game against Werder Bremen. So without further ado, let's begin today's episode and hopefully begin with a win as well. Should also say, as the game begins, massive thank you to everybody who left likes on the last episode and all that good stuff. You guys were sensational, and I appreciate all of the support on the first couple of episodes so far. But the game is underway, and you guys will be highlighted, or you'll see the highlights of the video and know when we score, if we score, that is. As already looking for an early chance. Andy Carroll's ball through, not meant to be. I was actually looking for the run of Lucas Torreira instead, but he wasn't the man they ended up finding as he's back trying to defend this. And I haven't won the ball back. But yeah, as I said in the last episode, I've still got Andy Carroll in there. I don't know if he's going to make an impact because, as you know, player instructions don't really work. And the ball's come in already. Sakai's up. Andre Schürrle's header over the top of the crossbar from Werder Bremen. Not sure. I don't know if they managed to capture Andre Schürrle. He's a solid choice at left midfield, though. And I'll be inclined to try and stop him today because he's pretty dangerous. In towards Andy, big Andy Carroll, trying to shift it on the left foot, and he's in towards the penalty area, still Andy Carroll, and still Bobby Wood in the middle. Bobby Wood's there and should make it 1-0 and doesn't. Oh my goodness me, it had to go in, How has he not scored? I brought this point up in the end of the last episode, talking about the fact that our strikers don't seem to put the ball in the back of the net, and once again here, we should be leading. It should be Bobby Wood with a goal, but he's ended up hitting it straight at the goalkeeper, Andy Carroll with a header, and it's over the top of the crossbar. Chances for both sides. Bremen with one. We've had two now there, and we should be leading. Sick. Now even the ref is getting involved as he blocks my pass there, and Werder Bremen come away with the ball, but luckily we win it back for our defending. Now as Brian picks it up, that takes us into half-time. We should be leading. Bobby Wood should have scored the chance that he had. Instead, though, he decided to hit it straight against the Bremen goalkeeper. Not quite sure what I need to change up here to make something happen, but at the moment, it remains 0-0. Second half has begun, and unless we can find Big Andy with a corner and potentially a header, not sure where our goal's going to come from here. Speaking of which, there is Andy Carroll. Now towards Wood again, in towards Andy Carroll again. Left foot, and again, it is beaten away by the goalkeeper. Torreira towards Brian. Now Kostic back heels it for Lucas Torreira, who's continuing his run. Torreira in the box. He gets the strike away. Need to get up and try and win that. And some other goalkeeper, who I thought was second fiddle to that, has actually won it. He's having a solid game as a Bremen goalkeeper. We just can't seem to beat him. And he'll take Plaudic from this as well if they hold on to it. As Halilovic off the bench, looking instantly to make an impact. Torreira's delivery back in towards the head. I'm not sure who it was. Papadopoulos in the end it actually was, who it's come off. Andy Carroll doesn't react in the middle, and the ball has gone out of play for a goal kick to Werder Bremen. But given the circumstances, we've pretty much battered them here. And this has one of those games written over it where it's going to be us putting the pressure on, trying to find a goal, and they might get a lucky one to win it. Profit. Arp's got a bit lucky. Wood's in. Wood to finish it. It's again straight at the keeper, and Holtby has missed the rebound. I tell you what, Bobby Wood, you are having my life right now. We got so lucky to even get the chance originally. The ball coming back from Arp in towards Wood again. And all he has to do is finish that off. And again, I know the goalkeeper's had an unbelievable game here today. But you can't help but say we should be quite comfortably winning this game. Bobby Wood has had a shocker. And that's it. That's the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how on earth we've only got a draw here. We've been a miles better side and should have got the win there. I've got to say, Bobby Wood, I don't think he started. I mean, look at those match facts. They weren't even in the game. Anyways, Bobby Wood, I think, isn't going to start the next game. You can't miss chances like that. He had two really good chances. One of them he should have definitely scored. The other one's a one-on-one with the keeper. But he's got to finish them both off. It's irrelevant even if we have the keeper set to a 75 rating. You have to score those. So I think that's Bobby Wood now dropped for the next game. Arp's probably going to come in, partner Andy Carroll up front, see if that makes a difference, although probably not. And after 7 league games have been played, we find ourselves 4th, having only scored 6 goals. transfer offer for Halilovic. Now, originally, I wasn't too worried. I was going to let him go and leave the club. But if it's an offer that's coming in from a team that's already in the Bundesliga, it needs to be a good offer because I don't want to strengthen a rival. So, yeah, they're going to have to do better than this, Mönchengladbach. I'm going to set it to £25 million, and that will be my asking price. If they can't match it, then we won't be selling him to a direct rival in the same league. 24.4, my last offer. If they don't accept this, then that is me done. No, we do not have a deal, and I'm rejecting that. As I said, I wouldn't be against letting him go, but I don't want to let him go to strengthen a Bundesliga rival of ours. On that topic, I do actually need to show you as well the youth academy, how it's progressing. We've got quite a few names in here now. I went to Saudi Arabia, Romania, and also Venezuela. So, few players, as you can see. This guy looks really good. Manole, 78 to 94 potential, which is insane. We've still got, quite a few players to come through as well. Popescu, 72 to 94, 75 to 94 on Arinaz, 74 to 90. Yeah, so pretty much everybody in here looks really, really good. And this guy as well, 82 to 94. 48 rated, though. Not a great starting rating to have. I could actually promote the goalkeeper right now if I wanted to. And get him trained up. I might do that. Let's promote him. Throw him in the training system. Get him growing. And we have then potentially our new number 1 on our hands. Next up, trip to Mainz, where we will be hoping to get a victory. Because, as you know, the first game wasn't exactly brilliant. That is how it looks in terms of the league table currently. They are 14th place. A win could climb us up into, basically, that area of the rest of the side. Dortmund, Bremen, Leverkusen, that 17-point mark. So it'd technically be joint top. But if Leverkusen win, then they will actually go top themselves. Bremen have now finally lost. They should have lost against us, but they didn't. They have now finally lost. So the only team currently left unbeaten are Bayer Leverkusen. For us, we need to score goals. Although we are, 6th place at the moment, we're joint bottom for goals scored. But then again, we are, second best goals conceded rate. Leverkusen, the only team to better us. So it's not all bad, but we need to find goals from somewhere. And I think for confidence, if we could find a few here against Mainz, that would be the best case scenario. We can grab a few, as I said, it'd be great for us. Arp has started this one. There's no place for Bobby Wood, who missed those chances in the first game. So he partners Andy Carroll. We'll see if the young man can get us going. Early chance potentially in the making if we can find the right pass here as Lewis Holtby just ran all the way through. Gets his shot away as well, and that's going to get cleared away in the end. Holtby allowed to just basically walk his way through there. Not great defending from Mainz, as now we look to build again. Torreira towards Arp. Arp through to Carroll. Carroll to Holtby. Lovely stuff. Lewis Holtby's in. And that's an even better tackle. Not sure how much he knew about it there, the Mainz midfielder. But he's got back and he's made quite a brilliant challenge. Now, if he'd have contacted with Lewis Holtby, it would have been a penalty. Because the way he dove in there was a little bit ridiculous. But somehow he managed to still block it. I'm not quite sure how that was actually the case. There's Konoplyanka in this Mainz side. There's some really weird players playing for these sides that you just wouldn't expect. Konoplyanka is probably here on loan, because as you know, the loan system's pretty much broken, but that's still a ridiculous signing for Mainz to have. As we've again started off the miles better side here, but we need to make it count. Sakai gets it on the left foot. Great cross! Kostic is there! Mainz 0, Hamburg 1. What a delivery from Sakai from the right-hand side. He cut it back on the left foot, whips a really, really good cross in. And it isn't actually Andy Carroll, the big man who's put us one in front with a header. It has actually gone over the way to Kostic, who's done it. But look at that for a cross from Sakai from the wide area. Keeper, you could say, has got to do better as well, but I'm not going to complain at that. Rennie Adler, thank you very much for having a flap at it. But I'm curious, how tall is Kostic? Because he looks pretty tall. Is he about 6'3", 6'2"? 6 foot. So, not as tall as I thought he was, but that certainly made the case there. When you compare him to Andy Carroll, who's 6'4", doesn't look that much of a difference between the two of them. But, yeah, our header comes in. It's not by who you would think it is. Instead, it's Kostic, but I don't care how we've taken the lead. All I care about is that we did take the lead. As now Joe Bryan with a bit of defending to do. Does it very well indeed. Holtby, Andy Carroll. Carroll's in, and Andy is saved by Adler. Oh, my Jesus. Why can't our strikers score? This is ridiculous. Now Andy Carroll's at it. Get the cross in towards him. He's not even towards him. As Arp now. It's brought down for Holtby to strike it. And straight at Adler. And there is the full-time whistle. We do win the game by a goal to 0. But Andy Carroll, man, what is he doing? Oh, man, I can't even blame him because it's just the game, the tactics, the instructions. He's never in the box when you need him to, and then when he is, the delivery's shocking. Again, though, real lack of anything attacking intent from Mainz, and the 1-0 is enough for us to secure the victory. So that's how it is. Defensively, we have been very good this season. As I said, only behind Leverkusen in goals conceded, and we don't really get a lot of chances against us, but the problem is we can't score either. Our game of today's episode is upon us. It is a big one at home against Bayern. So, yeah, this one is going to be fairly interesting. They are 9th in the moment in the Bundesliga, so not a good start from the Bayern Munich club. But you know what? You can't really read into that because I'm sure their team is still going to be ridiculously good. I'm not going to play Bobby Wood for this one again. I'm going to go with Arp and Carroll. I think Carroll needs to put himself about for us to potentially get the win. But it's still going to be tough. As I said, they'll have a good squad. So the Volkspark Stadion is the stage is set. And we are going to try and take down Bayern Munich on the first time of us asking. Because we haven't played them yet in the series. I think they're one of the other sides that we haven't played. We've got a couple more to go. And then we would have pretty much played every single team at least once. Have they got Suleiman Kalou playing in their side? What is going on? Why is Kalou at Bayern? I'm saying this now and he's probably going to score against me. Mark my words, guys. Right, they've still got a decent team. I've seen Achira Vidal, I've seen Thiago, Kingsley Coman. You know, these are players that can hurt us if we're not careful. As Coman's going to take this away. What a tackle that is from Andy Carroll. Who knew? Maybe he's a centre-back by trade. Torreira attended that pass. And I tell you what, that was very good by Torreira because he knew he was going to lose that and so drew the foul instead. But what a tackle from Andy Carroll. Maybe I should put him at centre-back instead. Going to take the free kick towards Van Drongelen. And the ball up to Muller now is there. Sakai, he whipped a good crossing last time on the left foot. Looked to do it again. That time, though, it was well defended. And there goes Andy Carroll again, winning another tackle. I'm sorry. Andy Carroll's new position needs to be centre-back. Last couple of minutes before the half-time whistle. Giving the ball away with Sakai. And there's still a minute left here for Bayern to try and do something. But Joe Bryan did really well in order to intercept that. Half-time, there hasn't even, I don't think, been a shot registered yet. That's how dull this first half has been. Been trading them blow for blow, and as I said, no shot. That sums it up. We've just kind of negated each other. And it doesn't help either that my two strikers haven't been able to find each other with a simple 4-yard pass yet. So we're struggling to really... I mean, like that sums up this game. How did Muller... And so does that. My goodness, we're in for a treat today. Have we got one last attack in as Muller carrying the ball forward. Needs a run from Bobby Wood, which hasn't actually come yet. And it never came. Like, honestly, make a run in front of him. Why? You just stood still. Running at them with pace, and nobody made the run to give him a... Oh, my goodness, we can't clear the ball either. Koeman towards Boateng. Back. It's going to be a goal. Off the woodwork. And then Bryan hits him on the back and nearly goes out for a corner ball. We have just lived life to the edge there and got away with it. Bryan towards Halilovic. Run through the middle. I'm sorry, Bobby. Hello, you fresh legs. What are you doing? This guy, we actually need new strikers. We need new strikers. They don't know how to play football. Somehow Andy Carroll isn't even the worst striker at the club. And there goes the full-time whistle. We do get a point against Bayern, but the quality of football on show there right at the end was nowhere near what you'd expect in a game involving Bayern. I mean, sums it up really, doesn't it? A yellow card from Alaba. And the post shot right at the end are the only two things to show you from the game. What a really, really poor game that was. In January, we need to look at a potential striker to come in because at the moment, our strikers don't seem to understand how football works. They miss placing passes, they're not making runs, and it's just been kind of weak, to be honest. So we need to look at new potential strikers, I think, in January. Nevertheless, though, guys, that is going to be the end of today's episode. As you may or may not know, the recent weekend that we've just had, of course, obviously this is the Sunday. I was away at a wedding yesterday and Friday, and so, unfortunately, I had no videos come out. Hopefully you understand that. From now on, though, we're hoping to get back to daily uploads, but I am a little bit behind schedule, so just bear with me in order to make sure we're coming back and ready to upload videos for you all to enjoy. But that is it for today. A win, 2 draws, not the worst results in the world, but given the circumstances, we should have beat Bremen. And against Bayern, we didn't really show anything worth of note. I've got a few contracts to sort out as well of a few players, and I'll go through those. Diekmeyer's going to stay, but the other guys I'm probably going to let go. So, of course, I'll update you on anything that happens in the next episode, and I'll see you all again for that, hopefully, in the next couple of days. Catch you all again. Adios!